We mentioned Dan Quinn, new head coach. He's a defensive-minded guy. Who has stood out? Defense has been good, obviously, 3-1. Who has stood out, and what has stood out about this Commanders defense?
Well, I have to correct you. Their defense actually the first three games were not very good. And so like they have struggled and they don't have a Myles Garrett, and not many people do, but they don't have a really good pass rusher to just consistently apply pressure, right? So, but in the last game against Arizona, what they're starting to do better is coverage wise. At least they did against Arizona, and they handled Kyler Murray. Were able to contain him mostly in the pocket, getting him maybe a better pass rush. They have those two tackles, Deron Payne and John Allen. They've been inconsistent. The run defense has been really bad. So if you're the Browns, that's an area you absolutely have to take advantage of, because if you can't run it on them, you're not going to, it's going to be really difficult. And that is something that they've given up a lot of yards. You'll see the gaps have been wide. So they do have two pretty good linebackers. Bobby Wagner's here. Frankie Louvu was a free agent they signed from Carolina. He can be very active and disruptive. He has not been as disruptive as a pass rusher in terms of getting sacks as I thought he might be, but I do think that'll come because they do like to blitz him a lot. So their defense, the secondary has been up and down. The corners had a better game last week. It was probably their best game of the season. The safeties are pretty good, but it's not. They don't have a lot of playmakers on that defense. They don't have a young Jaden Daniels type guy on the defense. So I think it's one that they have to play very sound to make it work, or do things to create turnovers, because they're just not. I don't think they're talented to line up and just stop you time and time again. But it's a new system. They do have half the defense or so is new, so there it does take time, but they have to. They did again. They're coming off their best game. The run defense has to get a lot better.